Hello and welcome to Exercise Your Thumbs. What I'd like to do with the video I'm about to show you now is to talk very briefly about free-to-play games. Free-to-play games are available quite widely these days and does what it says on the tin. Essentially, you can download the game for free and you can play it for free as long as you like. We're looking at one such game here today. This is the PlayStation 4 version of DC Universe Online. It's an MMORPG, which stands for Massively Multiplayer Online, and the RPG is role-playing game. MMOs typically are games where a lot of people play against each other or with each other in a large environment. The RPG element of this one is that you create a character which develops throughout a quite significantly long storyline. The most famous MMORPG is probably World of Warcraft, which has been going for a number of years. But this is free to play, so this has cost me nothing to download onto the PlayStation 4. It's available on PlayStation 4 and on PC. But we're talking generally about free to play games. There are a number available right now. DC Universe Online, there's Warframe, Blacklight Retribution. Rift is a free to play MMORPG, as is Star Wars The Old Republic. And a number of other things, including some iOS and Android games such as Clash of Clans on the mobile phone platform. All of these you can download and play to the end without ever having to part for any cash. The way the companies make their money is by encouraging players to make small microtransactions, small payments for additional content. Now, for instance, with DC Universe Online here, first thing I draw your attention to is in the left-hand corner of the screen there is Create next to the square button on the PlayStation controller there. And underneath there is characters, one of two. Now I can have two characters. Now when people play MMORPGs, they sometimes like to have quite a lot of different characters, particularly with this where there are 6 kind of sub-stories that go through and you have to have different characters to experience each of those 6 sub-stories. So that might encourage someone to have more characters. As it stands, I can have 2, but I can pay for more. What I'll do later is I'll go into the game and I'll show you the marketplace where some of the transactions are actually there. You can see in real terms how much it's going to cost. Also, to demonstrate this, I'm going to go into the create. So I'm going to create a second character here. Got PvE and PvP. PvE is player versus environment. That means you play through the game on your own or with a group of other people, but opposing players cannot attack you. So there are heroes, there are villains. It's DC Universe, so the heroes are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and then you have villains, and the villains are things like the Joker, Lex Luthor, etc. So PvE means that people from the opposing faction, so if you're playing a hero, the villains can't just randomly attack you. In PvP, which is player versus player, means that if you're out in the environment and an opposing player spots you, they can attack you and defeat your character, which puts you back into a different part of the map, so you have to retrace, or if you want to, you can attack them. With PvE, any player versus player elements are a choice. You can choose to go into that element rather than being forced upon you.
My greatest triumph was at hand.
But I'll just skip through these cinematics, no point in looking at those.
I only hope I am.
There we go. So this is the character creation screen. I'm not going to go through that in any depth. I'm just going to grab various archetypes, custom. I'll choose a hero. I'm going to go powerful, and we'll have Superman. Now this is where some of the microtransactions will come in. You select a power as iconic superhero powers: fire, gadget, ice, mental abilities, nature, sorcery. All of these are free and come with the free download of DC Universe Online. You can see these ones here that are greyed out. They are not available unless you have paid for some form of upgrade. So Celestial Earth, Electrical, Light, Quantum. You have to have bought some form of downloadable content to access those. And we'll have a look at those in real time. So the way they make these free-to-play models work is, yes, they offer a game that you can complete without having to buy anything, but either buying downloadable content will make the game more interesting or give you more character possibilities, or will allow you to traverse the game quicker, as is the case with Warframe and Blacklight Retribution. Both of those games you can play through without ever having to spend any money, but it's an arduous, long-winded task. So what you can do then is to upgrade your character, upgrade your weapons a lot faster by actually parting with real cash within the game. So I'm going to come back out of this character creation screen, and I'm going to log into this character I created the other day. So there's an iconic character, there's the Joker, DC Universe 9. It takes place in all of the DC comic universe. Hasn't quite had the same impact as the Marvel ones, but say Batman, Superman and the Joker are certainly very well known. Now, as this loads in very slowly, what I'll do is I'll get the character I've rolled up and add danger where it can't be attacked, and I will show you the marketplace, and then you can see what kind of money you spend in DC Universe Online. A lot of games, not just free-to-play titles these days, will have some kind of microtransactions. Assassin's Creed 4, for instance, which is a game that was released back in November, that does have a microtransaction thing where you can pay £1.50 to show where all the treasures are hidden on the map. Killzone, Shadowfall, you can upload colour schemes, which are cosmetic changes to your character or some of the things around your character for like 79p. It's very easy. You only have to buy 10 of those things, and you've spent £7.90. But in terms of these free-to-play titles, the cost can be more significant. If I open up the menu system, I'm going to go through to this marketplace, and this is where you will part with your cash. And just wait for it to load in. Here we go. So, what we got, for instance, here is, if I go on to the side, we've got these MC coins. Now you earn them throughout the game, but if you're on the free model, the maximum you can earn is 2,000. So if you want to buy something that's worth 5,000, as a free-to-play player, you can never buy it. So as you can see here, you can buy 500 of these coins for £4, 1,000 for 8, and it gets a bit silly. $63.99 will give you 10,000 of these MC coins. So it's very easy to rack up some cash if you're not careful. The DLC, which stands for downloadable content, all coming in at $7.99. Sons of Trigon Origin Crisis. If we have a look at them, what it does, it allows you to have the quantum power, so that's where you've got that additional power, but also it gives you 2 heroes to unlock in a player versus player arena, and various other bits and pieces which are going to enhance the game but are not required to complete it. There are upgrades here as well in terms of your tokens. There's base items, there's a little house that you can buy. You can get into all of this stuff, but it's going to have some kind of cost, either using the in-game currency, which are these MC coins, or physical money. That is the danger with free-to-play models. If free-to-play games are available out there, by all means download them, because they're not going to cost you anything. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you have control of the credit card on these systems. Otherwise, it's very easy for the young person who's playing these games to inadvertently, in many cases, perhaps run up a massive bill. A friend of mine recently, her son, who's only 8, without knowing it, managed to run up a £150 bill with downloadable content from FIFA 14, a football game. So my recommendation would be, whichever system that your child is using, be it PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, whatever it might be, the PC, is to get yourself in and set yourself up as the principal person on that account. In the PlayStation 4, that's done automatically when you first log in. And if you get a PS4, I can't speak for the Xbox One because I haven't seen how this works. I'd imagine it's similar. But when you go into the PlayStation 4, I would log in first, do all those, and it's very simple. And they'll ask you if you want to be the prime account holder. And you say yes, and you can password protect that. You can log in and get your credit card details if you want to on the PlayStation Network, but it means your children can't access it. Then you give them sub-accounts, which can be put parental controls on, which means although they can access all of this lovely stuff, they can't spend any money unless it's through your account or through vouchers that can be purchased through Tesco's, Game, Sainsbury's. Most retailers will carry these now. So you can give them a £5 voucher and they can download just £5 worth of things. It puts you in control of the spending. So that's free-to-play models. I mean, they're not just on games consoles. Say Clash of Clans, which is a very popular title on mobile phones at the moment. That is a free-to-play one. Now, the way they make the money is that a lot of things happen in real time. For instance, if you want to upgrade a town hall in it, it can take 4 days. for actual days, not game days. You can speed that process up by spending an in-game currency called gems, but you never have enough through the game to do that, so you have to buy them starting at $2.99 or $5.99. And again, real money is being spent very easily, and it's very easy to do that on a mobile phone contract. So if you see a free-to-play game available, I say it's a great way of getting low-cost gaming onto your console, but at the same time you are going to have to be in charge of what's going on. What I'm also going to do is to put a still photograph as well onto Twitter and Facebook, which shows a screenshot of the PlayStation Network, which will show some of the other things that games like Blacklight Retribution are asking for. So you can see the kind of payment models that other free-to-play games are using. So great way to get good content onto the PlayStation 4 for little or no cost, but it is very easy to be abused if you're not careful. I hope that's been informative. If you have any questions or comments, please by all means leave them on either the Facebook page. You can contact me through Facebook, through Twitter, or through the website. So thanks very much for listening, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye bye.